I'm in Cali, Colombia. I'm in Cali, Colombia. The setting for this video isn't very exotic. It's just a white wall. But in any case, I'm delighted to join you for this first bulletin from the General House. We're going to try to do it every month to give news of the life of the congregation. I'm in the Saint Monique Parish community in Cali. And then tonight I'll be joining the Medellin community to join the confreres living there, and in particular to say hello to greet the senior fathers who live in the San Miguel community. I arrived in Colombia 2 months ago, and I'd just like to tell you about the meetings we held at the beginning of this stay, before telling you in a moment about the canonical visit with Father Martin Solano of the Colombian province. A first 3-day meeting brought together confreres and associates interested in Yudish spirituality, both of whom speak Spanish and who are also ready to work together on 2 subjects in particular. The first subject is the finalization of the Spiritual Directoire, a document which was started during the first mandate and which will now be continued. The idea is to offer Yudish points of reference to situate themselves in the works and heritage, keys to theological reading and understanding, and above all to propose a spiritual itinerary for renewing our deep commitment to our Yudish spirituality. All in all, it was a very rich and fruitful meeting. The second aim is to renew the participation of the entire congregation in the unity of Yudish spirituality. In the Yudish spirituality unit in Bogota, which is now headed by Father Hermes Flores, after many long years of Father Alvaro Duarte, whom I thank. So we need to give this unit of spirituality a little more scope, a little more international, with other languages. So we need to give a new impetus to the promotion of our heritage. And that's been very successful, with groups forming and links being forged. If we could also create a link between the spiritual centers of the different provinces, that would be excellent. By the way, on the subject of spirituality, I think you've received the latest Yudish book, a massive production, almost 400 pages long. It's the proceedings of the colloquium organized with Minuto de Dios University in 2021. It's of the highest quality, international and academic, and I hope that you will be able to draw inspiration from it and renew our commitment to this Yudish heritage. After this meeting, the General Council and the congregation met. The Provincial of France and the Vicar of North America were absent, but they were able to follow everything thanks to the facilities set up by Minuto de Dios University. We were very well received in Valmaria by the confreres of the Colombian province, who received us with great attention, and I thank them. For the first time, the interprovincial coordinator of the associates, Michel was also present and took part in all the reflections of the Council of the Congregation. You will have noticed that I said the Vicar of North America and not the Provincial, because you know that since the 1st of January of 1024, 2 vicariates have been created, the Vicariate of North America, which includes the United States and Canada, and then the Vicariate of the Philippines. So what I can tell you, pass on, there are many things, but we have been working on the organization of the time of Yudish spiritual renewal, which will take place from October 8 to November 8 for incorporated confreres between 10 and 20 years of incorporation who have been chosen by the provincial councils and who receive the mission to live this time of personal renewal. There will be a time to follow in the footsteps of St. John Eudes, of course, and a time with Father Hernan Alzate of the Minuto de Dios province on regaining awareness of his personal life project. Then, Father Fidel Ugnoro of the Minuto de Dios province will plunge us into the scriptures to rediscover the biblical foundations of our vocation, both baptismal and presbyteral. Afterwards, there will be a time of silent retreat at the Trappist Abbey of Timadoc with Father Michel, based on texts by Saint Jean Eudes, and then the final time, the last few days, will be with the General Council to talk about the life of the congregation, all the questions that may arise, and restore the taste for our participation in the life of the congregation. So it's all coming together nicely. Then we talked about our Jubilee year at the same time as the Universal Jubilee year. As you know, the theme is the Pilgrim of Hope. So we've taken as our theme, Messenger of Hope, let's renew the joy of being Eudists. So the opening of the year is December 8th, both this year to entrust the year to the Virgin Mary, but also the centenary of the Eudist presence in Venezuela. It's an anniversary to celebrate. And then until January 9, 2026, which is the bicentenary of the refoundation of the congregation after the French Revolution. So I've already communicated this in a letter, but I'll do it again for a few points. So the International Meeting of Associates in France, from the 19th to the 25th of March. There will also be a meeting of the Council. There will be a meeting of the General Council with the provincial councils and the coordination of associates in Rome from the 24th to the 31st of August, from the 24th to the 31st of May, and if possible, a meeting with the Holy Father to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the canonization of Saint Jean Eudes, so the 31st of May 2025. Then, around the 19th of August, the idea is for each community to invite the diocesan priests who are in the vicinity, or the bishops, and invite them to share the feast of St. John Eudes, and we'll give them a booklet that will be created with texts on the priest. Let's not forget that the Sisters of Our Lady of Charity of the Good Shepherd are also celebrating a bicentenary, the founding of the Contemplative Sisters in 1825 by Marie-Euphrasie Pelletier when she was in Tours. That's all there is to it, and we're going to keep him informed about this Jubilee. A word about the International Committee of Young Eudist Missionaries. This was a request from the General Assembly. The idea is how we can accompany young people to train them to be missionaries themselves, with 4 verbs: to know, to listen, at the same time to form and to act. The first meeting will take place in July in Barranquilla, Colombia. Preparations are underway, and I'd like to thank all those who are helping to organize it. Another point to share with you is that we have carried out a financial audit of the congregation. Well, it's not us, it's a firm, of course. So it's a first step to get a clearer view of reality, to see the future too, how it's shaping up, because it's possible to make projections on staff numbers and resources. So it's a call for us to become more aware of what we have for the mission, which in any case is the fruit of what we put together. It's not going to fall from the sky. So there's still some way to go to achieve greater transparency and to pool resources with the aim of supporting the mission and within the mission supporting those in training. There are many challenges. We trust each other and everyone believes in solidarity within the congregation, but there are still steps to be taken, not least to be able to communicate the audit itself to you. Finally, we have completed the EUDist directory for the Diocesan Priest Training Service. This work was started during the previous mandate. It has been reviewed, corrected, and promulgated. A meeting will be held on May 21st to present it. Basically, to tell you the truth, it provides the foundations and guidelines for the service of priestly formation. In other words, with an awareness of this particular charism that we have for the formation and accompaniment of priests. I say priests, not necessarily seminarians, because that's part of it, but even more so in the context of the development of ongoing formation. Every community can get involved in this welcome, in this service, in this daily training of priests. The question is how we can get associates more involved in this charism of accompanying and forming. Priests. We also talked about the Yudist Holy Land, and I won't say any more about it. How to give in France, to the province of France, how to help the province of France to continue its service in welcoming pilgrims who come in the footsteps of St. John Eudes. There's a project taking shape with the Sisters of Charity of the Good Shepherd, particularly around the house in Caen, since this is the house of Saint Jean Eudes. But you know Father Laurent Tournier, when he was provincial of France, created the Saint Jean Eudes Sanctuary, which includes Ris, Les Tourailles, Caen, and then La Délivrande. So how are we, the Eudists, going to continue to offer pilgrimages and at the same time spiritual life in the Diocese of Bayeux-Élise? I'd like to end with a great joy. I have called, following the vote of the General Council, 12 young Eudist candidates for incorporation. Henri-Joël Dossa, Kwame Hervé Ouattara, Mopio Michel Godin-Savo, Yahou Kalin, Carlyle Kassa Weho, Adjignon Richard Wesu from the province of Africa. Andrés Felipe Pérez Acero, Jefferson Gafia Castrillon, Jesus David Medina Maramírez, José Andrés Hurtado Soto, Luis Miguel Novoa Henríquez, and Maynor Abel Chavarria Reyes from the province of Minuto de Dios, and James Alonso Agudelo Garcia from the province of Colombia. So it's a great joy. Those from the Minuto de Dios province and the province of Colombia are already incorporated. Some are already ordained deacons, and then it's going to take place in April for the young incorporated from the province of Africa. So it's on this note of joy that I leave you, and I wish you a very happy feast of the congregation tomorrow on March the 381 years of the congregation.